Hello, my name is Prime, and welcome back to ATS Showcases. And today we are here just outside of Sacramento, and we're going to head down to the northwest side of Fresno, hauling this tractor today with our Peterbilt 389. I have returned to the Peterbilt 389 after quite some time, actually, without driving it. I thought, you know what, probably should come back to the great old Peterbilts, as it's something that we really want to see revised. So I thought I'd bring it up as much as I could with what we can do here stock in ATS today. However, the engine is not stock, as it is the CAT 3406E straight pipe engine mod that you can find on the Steam Workshop, so I'll have the link for that down in the description below. It is a fantastic engine mod that I've covered in the past, and I highly recommend it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this 389 started up and get on the road. And I just have to add one thing before we get rolling here for today's delivery. This wonderful steering wheel here, the SCI retro steering wheel, at least one of the many retro steering wheels that you can now get within the SCI pack or the Steering Creations pack for ATS, a wonderful DLC that has been out for quite some time. However, it has recently received a massive update, 25 brand new wheel designs and a bunch of refreshing to the previous versions as well. And for this configuration of the Peterbilt 389, I thought the retro wheel, which is a very large diameter wheel as well, may I add, and I tend to like it quite a lot. All right, enough talking from me. Let's go ahead and get rolling here. We've got to beat the daylight here. Actually, you know what? It's kind of mid-morning-ish in-game, so we've got plenty of time to go on this delivery. It's not a overly long delivery by any means. However, it is going to be a wonderful delivery overall, at least. And that is my hope. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I certainly am. Back here in California, and more specifically, an area that has been revamped previously by the California Revamp Project, the multiple phases that is. And we're heading down to a section that will be revamped in the next phase of the California Rework project. So I thought, let's do this delivery today, kind of compare the couple regions here, because obviously this north of Sacramento area, and I guess Sacramento itself, if I remember correctly, was reworked in the previous phase. But as we get into, I guess it's phase 3 upcoming here, down the Fresno area, for those who have been following around maybe the Prime News videos or even some of the blog posts itself, that is kind of the primary area of focus. So you're going to most likely see I say most likely, you are going to see a pretty good difference here in the visual from where we're starting here in the video. And for those who watched to the end of the video, you'll most likely see quite a substantial difference in quality. But this is why the California Rework project is so great for American Truck Simulator. It is a wonderful region and is one that a lot of... Oh, that was a very short cinematic cam. I don't know why the game didn't want to continue that. I was hoping I was going to get a nice forward shot there. The California region is one that I think pretty much unanimously we can all say for ATS players, especially those who have been playing for quite some time, an area that we really want to see brought back up to, well, the quality that it really should be, and it, you know, have some justice served in terms of visual quality. And I'm so happy with the California Rework project, as SES Software works from north to south across the state. I'm so happy to see the progress that is being made. And with phase 3, well, seemingly around the corner, we're going to have to see how that one all works out there. But seemingly it's coming soon, which is the hope at least. And it seems like the next phase will be very, very good. As I mentioned, reworking around the Fresno area, that kind of band, that more central band of California. And it's one that a lot of us are looking forward to seeing revamped. I know definitely I am, and I know a lot of you will agree. But talking about recent news, well, it is all centered, as I mentioned earlier, on the revamp of the SCI DLC, or the Steering Creations pack, depending on how you want to say it, depending on how formal you want to be. That is a DLC that has been out, I believe, in 2016, one of the first ones, I think, for American Truck Simulator. Please correct me if I am wrong. I have had the DLC pretty much since the release of DLC. I've had it for quite some time, way before starting doing content creation here on YouTube. However, it's been a long time since there's been an update. Well, since 2016, 2017-ish, as far as I recall. That is kind of the timeline we're looking at here, and I am massively speeding. We're going to slow down here. We do not need to be going nearly 75 miles an hour. Probably not the best thing for me to be doing, but this Peterbilt is just a beast overall. Really powerful engine in it today. Well, I guess 700 horsepower. No slouch with this cat engine. Wonderful sound overall as well. I'll see if I get some Jake brake action later on. I have covered this mod in the past, so I won't be, necessarily focusing completely on the engine sounds. However, I know a lot of you like to hear them. So if you want, I'll try and have the video referenced or card in the cards, whatever my first look of it, and I'll try and stop talking occasionally in this video as well, so you guys can enjoy it. However, it's been a long time since the SCI pack has been updated. I really enjoy it, albeit I haven't maybe customized some of the wheels in my trucks here on ATS showcases, and even personally, to be honest, maybe as much as I probably should have recently. I've done it here and there. I do use it to touch on, but often, especially with some of the recent showcases I've been doing with new trucks, I am not using, say, a steering wheel pack with, say, the Kenworth T680 next gen, because, well, especially for our first look, I want to make sure that you, the viewer, sees what the quality of the actual steering wheel, for example. I know it's a more minor detail, but at the same time, it is significant. I want to make sure that you, the viewer, knows what you're kind of expecting if you maybe, well, if it's a paid DLC, what are you getting with that paid DLC? So, for example, the steering wheels, a bunch. I think it's over 50 now, over 50 different steering wheels for all the SCS software trucks, which is pretty neat. But I want to make sure that you know what you're expecting, long story short, or what you should be getting kind of stock, without the extra DLCs or mods in some cases applied to some of the different items that I may be reviewing. So when it comes to this kind of DLC, it is one that I will do on especially these kind of showcase videos where I'm not really showcasing anything new, let's be honest. However, it is still a really nice kind of drive to be doing across the California countryside, and a truck that we desperately need revamped as well, which I'll be touching on in just a moment. I'm kind of covering a few different areas here and kind of highlighting what can be done to make a truck like the 389 that really hasn't been touched in quite some time, well, come back to life a little bit with some modern touches from SCS software. So overall, pretty neat indeed. So as we roll into Stockton here, you may be able to notice things become a little bit more cookie cutter. Not completely, and it just still does look pretty good. However, you will start to notice, as far as I recall, unless if I'm going crazy, that things start to just kind of, maybe the detail isn't quite there. Does it look good? Yes. Does it look as good as some of the other regions that we know and love? No. To put it just kind of verbatim there, kind of put it bluntly, it's just not as good as what we know, but that's why it's being revamped. But yes, the steering wheel DLC, it's great to be kind of covering more with these wheels, and I thought the retro looked pretty neat. I was between a few of them, a few that were using the accent color of this 389, which, another side note, I'm going to be kind of all over the place here, people. I do apologize. I thought this blue looks really good. Depending on the lighting, it is a really nice blue. I actually haven't really covered or done a truck recently or configured one with, I would say, more deep blue to it. But this is, I think, a very, very nice color indeed. Let's get some cinematic shots here. See if the game will let me do it. They do indeed. I do appreciate it. Looks really, really good. Of course, with the... Whoa, there's a cop there. Gotta make sure. Cinematic cam on a slight bend is not a good idea, folks. Just if you may want to know. Not the most recommended thing to do. I thought was the chrome accents as well. Of course, the low roof sleeper today. The Goodyear tires and chrome rims with this ownable lowboy trailer. Sorry, I was gonna say drop deck lowboy trailer. With the tractor on it, the crawler tractor. I thought it was just a very neat delivery indeed, and one that suit the truck really well, especially with the engine as well, just kind of in the background. The engine mods are so good, and especially on something like the 389, the stock engine sounds are not the best. This truck is very old and needs some love, and that's the other reason why I wanted to do this delivery one today, because as you can tell, it is starting to become a lot more bland in some cases. And as we look at the map, we are pretty much in the heart here of where stuff is going to be done, into the Fresno, Huron, Stockton, like this kind of region here by San Fran. And it's all kind of going to be redone pretty much. So that's going to be good, because it is greatly needed, and I think a lot of us would not disagree on that. But the 389, we need something here. A new 389, I guess that's I guess what's the 579 as well for the other version of the Peterbilt currently, which I'm going to assume will be the equivalent next gen version, which will be coming in, I'm going to assume. But we need some love here, kind of what the W900, the Kenworth variant of the 389. The W900 received a major, well, actually the very first tuning pack for American Truck Simulator. I could see the 389 getting one as well, and to be honest, I'd love to see it with all the trucks, but realistically speaking, I want to see something happen with Peterbilt. I know a lot of you do as well, and the 389 just needs some more customization options, just like the W900. The 389 is used a lot for the custom, kind of what you could say more show trucks in real life. You see a lot of fantastic looking W900s, 389s, and their subsequent models because of the classic look. You can customize them, bridge the gap between modern and classic, or just go full on one way or the other with it and do some really interesting designs, paint schemes, you know, various trim levels. Third party or stock, you can do a lot with the 389 and W900. Obviously, we've gotten a lot of new options with the W900, with the recent, well, I guess recent-ish W900 tuning pack. But the 389 really does need something to go along with it. I don't think any of you would agree or disagree. Sorry, it is just definitely something that needs to be done. It's something that SES Software knows about. Let's face it. The Peterbilts. We need something more from this brand. Such an iconic brand in America, and it is desperately needing something new. Obviously, SES Software is working with the PACCAR Group, which owns Kenworth and Peterbilt, obviously. And we've seen some glimpses, or a lot of work has been done on the Kenworth side. Most likely, a lot of work is being done on the Peterbilt side as well. It's just a matter of time. 2023 was definitely a lot of Kenworth. Maybe 2024 is Peterbilt. We don't really know, unless if, please enlighten me if I'm missing something. Trailer damage? I wonder if the trailer grounded itself out on the ramp there, because it is awfully steep, because the grading on these ramps that are in the older section of the map aren't the greatest. They definitely drop off pretty abruptly. So I am wondering if I just scrape the bottom of my trailer going up that ramp. Possibly. Which if I did, that is very, very unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed, but it's the way it is. It is the way it is. But yes, the 389, I'd really love to see some customizations for it. Obviously, a brand new version, so the 2020, even the 2023 model of the 389. I'm pretty sure they still make them, as far as I know, unless if I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm second guessing myself. I'd love to see just newer models of Kenworths and Peterbilts, but we're talking Peterbilts here today. Love to see new versions of them come into ATS, let alone the revamp of the current versions. It'd be fantastic. Even just the rework of the 389. I know, if I'm remembering correctly, the W900 received a rework of it prior to the tuning pack as well. It received the rework, I guess, with the anniversary edition, if I remember correctly. And that is something that I'd love to see with Peterbilt, because let's face it, it needs a lot of work. There are, you know, just the overall quality of the truck is good, don't get me wrong, but there are, you know, just some noticeable, let's say this, there are some noticeable quality difference jumping between one of the newer trucks in ATS or newly revamped trucks in ATS and then coming to the 389. There are some edges and certain things that just do not meet the current standard of the game. It's been in ATS for quite some time, and it's just something that we have to kind of expect, to be honest. But as we roll into our delivery point here, overall, the 389 is a truck that I'd love to drive more. Same with the 579. It's just the quality in terms of showcasing it with some of these newer deliveries, newer trucks. I think I am grounding out the trailer there on some of these points. Huh. How interesting. It just, oh, overshot it. It just doesn't necessarily look the same, and it honestly doesn't serve the truck maybe the justice that it does deserve. But overall, what a wonderful delivery. Great to be driving the 389 once again. Was a fantastic engine mod. I know I was, talking my way through this episode quite a bit, but the straight pipe engine mod, the 3406E, I always nearly mess up that model number pretty much every time I try and say it. What a wonderful, wonderful engine mod by Slav Jerry. Once again, available on the Steam Workshop, completely free if you want to check that out. And Slav Jerry's done a number of fantastic engine mods, which I've covered a number of them here on the channel. So if you want, check back through the ATS Showcase playlist to find some of those other engine mods. However, wonderful delivery here in California. And for those who watched near the end, I think, and of course I was pointing it out as well, pretty easy to tell the difference between just some of the subtle details, or major details, I should say, as well, of the map here in California. And it'll be wonderful in, well, hopefully a short period of time as of recording this video, to be finally driving in an updated version of California. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, keep an eye out here around the channel. I'll be covering the California rework upcoming phases, definitely with phase 3 incoming as well. I'll be covering that one whenever it releases, and the news subsequent with that in terms of release date and so on and so forth. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.